4 of the 5 suspects accused of abusing children at a New Mexico compound expected to be released from jail, while the sheriff of Taos County continued to dodge questions over how the investigation's been handled.
How are they being allowed to leave jail?
Thank you.
The release is a dramatic turn in a case that's focused on allegations of starving children being taught to carry out school shootings. But in a pretrial detention hearing, those allegations rarely came up.
I didn't hear anything about the condition of the children, which is something that I kind of expected to hear.
Instead, prosecutors focusing on interviews with 2 teenage boys rescued from the compound who detailed how one defendant, Siraj Wahaj, performed what was described as an exorcism on his 3-year-old son Abdul Ghani until the boy died during one of the rituals in February.
Abdul would begin to choke and have white foam or slime come from his mouth and then pass out.
The children were told Abdul would be resurrected as Jesus and tell them which corrupt institutions they should attack.
If these were white people of a Christian faith who owned guns, that's not any big deal. We have a Second Amendment right to own firearms in this country.
The judge asking about Abdul's death and the condition of the children who remain in foster homes, ultimately deciding to release 4 of the suspects with GPS monitoring. Wahaj remains held on a Georgia warrant for kidnapping his son. And tonight in Taos, the courthouse and the judge put under protection and lockdown after what authorities call a credible threat.
Yeah, and Lester, I want to show you what's happening out here right now live. These are Sheriff's Department vehicles that were just brought in. There's a security team that just went in. This is the Taos County Courthouse. It's an entire complex, and we know that the judge inside has now received over 200 threats, one of them extremely credible, saying that somebody wanted to slit her throat. This over here, this is the detention center where those 5 suspects are still being held. It's unclear how this lockdown will affect their release.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.